Good morning, everybody. John Sfiocla here from GAI Insights, bringing you the Gen AI news briefing. Bring your top news, essential, important, or optional. Putting thoughts in your head, time of your day. We've got Lucinda Lindy and Luda Kopakina and John Sfiocla here. And man, tons of important news today. Essential news, I think, too. We'll argue it out. But we've got lots of new models dropping and some really interesting upgrades for things like Alexa to Alexa Plus. All right. If we could have our first article, please. We get the introduction of GPT. Hey, Paul, welcome. GPT 4.5. You know, a lot of kibitzers on the side saying, hey, where's GPT-5 and artificial general intelligence and all that other stuff? But here we have GPT 4.5, and we've got a big new announcement by OpenAI. So what do you think here, Luda?
I rated it as essential because everybody is so much expecting it, and it is a news that need to be recognized, I think, from important to essential. The reason for important is because it is not quite ready yet. It will be available to pro users. The announcements is very much, well, we're trying it. We want to know what it does. It has better performance, but needs to be confirmed, and so on and so forth. It's certainly more expensive. Its capabilities are quite broader than previous models. So OpenAI expects quite a bit out of this model, but it's really more in the experimental stage. That's why I was thinking important. But overall, for the market perspective, I think it's probably essential. What did you think, guys?
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I think that I also rate it essential for the reasons that you said. You know, this also really confirms our prediction from about 6-8 months ago that this part wasn't going to be about giant model training, and we saw Grok 3 drop, which is nice, but it's not about the model training. It's really about post-model inference and optimization of models and multiple models. This is something that we had predicted about 6 to 9 months ago, and I think it's coming true. Great performance, but not from scaling laws at the core. But so I was going to rate it essential as well for the reasons you said. What did you think, Lucinda?
Yeah, I also had it as important to essential, and I'm fine with essential. The interesting thing about 4.5 is it's got a more of an EQ and it's vibe sensitive. I thought the demos that they had were really interesting. I think it's very interesting that they said that it's focused around the ability to collaborate with humans. So this may kind of look at the how are agents and humans going to work together in the workforce, and this may be one way of reducing the friction. Yes, it's expensive for now. Yes, it's a separate thing for now, but OpenAI typically drastically reduces the prices and incorporates elements of different models into other models. So it's kind of like we're just watching the shape shifting here as they develop and put things together. Two other non-technical points. One is I loved how they listed the names of all the contributors at the end, like a Hollywood movie. And also, this is the first time an OpenAI announcement has generated some skepticism and even a little bit of mockery, which is definitely a different vibe.
Yes, well, as long as you're not a regular reader of Gary Marcus, because he's been mocking them for years.
Well,
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Two other points, sort of interesting to the ones that Lucinda talked about. It's how they worked at accuracy, at unsupervised learning, and there's really good charts here. So this is accuracy and this is reduction of hallucinations. So they were certainly training the model on these parameters quite a bit. So that's important to know.
Paul, what do you think? Nothing burger or essential reading?
I was actually the other end. I was on the optional. I played around with it for an hour last night. The prompts I usually use, it wasn't particularly impressive. I know there's some certainly claims of more emotional intelligence, Lucinda. And it's interesting. I realize I don't have prompts to really test that I go with, so I didn't want to test that. It's only available in the the Pro model, and I'm not sure what the AI leader who's overwhelmed would actually do with this. So I had it as optional, but with support important, it sounds like that's where we're headed.
I'm afraid, Paul, I make all the way to essential. I think if you're the AI leader, you got to know what's going on with the market leader. These guys are clearly the market leader.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
In terms of use.
Yeah.
And even if it's just saying, hey, it's nothing, right? It's a nothing burger, but you know, it's essential for you to know it. All right, we're going essential here. Next.
I mean, before, Luda, have
sorry.
you seen anyone who actually likes it? Anyone? I can't find a single positive thing about it.
About like this announcement and so forth? No.
Someone who's actually used it and said, you have this use case, and 4.5 was so much better than 4 doing
No.
X.
No,
Well-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, John. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna. This to me read like they have such enormous pressure. They promised the market so much. They finally had to. They're like, okay, these two graphs, we have enough, so we won't look completely embarrassed because all that stuff that you said, Sam, last year ain't happening. So,
You don't think he's trying to close a $20 billion funding deal with SoftBank, do you?
you're telling me that business executives exaggerate when they're raising money?
And if I only have Stargate, Lucinda, then I'll have all the compute power to actually go to 5. So just build me this big data center, and then you can have 5.
$8 trillion later.
Yeah, I mean, but don't forget the people put money into this. I have professional, they're professionals. This is whatever. I have no, I don't worry about the people putting money into OpenAI and losing their money. OpenAI losing their money, right? So, yes. All right, next. Essential on the first one. Here we've got empowering innovation, the next generation of the Pi family. Very interesting. Microsoft. I was actually just talking to the head of Microsoft Research last night at this event I'm at Lake Nona. Fascinating guy, Peter Lee. Unbelievable. He was also talking about the quantum computing stuff they're doing, which is really mind blowing when you look at the new quantum computing chip from Microsoft. But this issue of small models and what the next consumer interaction, you can see. I thought some of the things in here were pretty interesting about if you think about putting the Pi family into the car, the idea of asynchronous availability of intelligence. I really believe the edge computing. And I was talking to one of the folks who run the Microsoft AI labs last night. We were talking about how do you think about changing the consumer experience and having Microsoft have more market power? I said, look, go with the mobile folks. Go get with T-Mobile and Verizon and so forth, because that's the next wave. Anyway, let's see. Who do we have on this one?
Lucinda,
what'd you think?
Yeah, well, actually, I ended up really on optional unless you were working with some products that needed a really fast interface. So the reason why is because if you scroll down, Luda, to the graph with all the different bars on it, that just really shows how much competition there is in, this is the one, yeah, just how much competition there is in this sort of thing in these smaller family of models. That it is really good for the real-time multimodal, and it could be that this is kind of more of an under the hood type of thing that ends up being super important because you have this great integration and it's really fantastic. So I do think it's impressive that they've combined audio, video, image, translation. It also shows how much competition there is. And so, yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking like, okay, well, what would I use it for? I would use it for something where it's a fast reaction needed, but also how would I think about that versus all the other bars here in this graph? So that's the reason I put optional. I could be talked into important. So that's it.
yeah, I'd like to talk you into important because this is the the fact that we have so many bars is the maturation and of this particular segment. And this set of models is quite advanced, right? So if you are in, like you said, on the edge with all the different components needed, this is probably the model to go to, and it's Microsoft. So I just think that for that reason, we need to state that it's out there. So that's why I was thinking important.
John, you're on mute.
I was headed for optional as well. Paul, where are we on this?
I'm an optional.
All right, Luda, I hate to say it, the tyranny of democracy.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Hold on for the next. I need to stop sharing and start sharing again. Hold on. But you can
All right,
start.
so we have,
looking,
yeah, very interesting. Microsoft, the whole thing. Boy, I tell you, they're a very thoughtful company. Just watch. Talking to some of the scientists last night. Do you realize they invested for 17 years for quantum? Isn't that amazing? God love them. Anyway, great to see fantastic new innovation.
John, they used to say that about IBM too. So it's amazing leadership there that's keeping them relevant.
Yeah, well, I think Ginny Rometty drove them into the ground, but thank God she's gone, and they have a new leader in there who's actually, competent. Yeah, but all right, transcribing speech. Oh, this is one of my favorite areas. I've been talking to Perplexity this morning. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but this is really, they're beating Whisper, right, which is a market leader on this thing. When you look at speed and quality, big deal. All right, so who was on this one?
you.
Me? This is me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to make this incremental improvement on an incredibly important area. I could be convinced to important, but definitely not essential. If you actually, scroll down a little bit and, click on the video and so forth, it's really impressive, like what this thing's able to do in terms of interaction. And when we combine this with what we see in the Alexa Plus offering, which is coming, it really voice is a massive interface. And we haven't even gone into all the wonderful things that you can do with voice. I think, as I've mentioned on one of our things, I had a interaction with a woman named Rita Singh just before the pandemic, where she took 60 seconds of my voice and was able to calculate my height within an inch, my weight within 5 pounds, my blood pressure within 5 points, gave a personality profile, profiled the room that we were in. Just unbelievable information in voice. And this was be about 6 years ago now. So quite amazing. I think it's going to be, the share of interface with computers that's going to be voice driven, I think will continue to go up. And we also see an affinity for people listening to things as we do with podcasts and so forth, continuing to be one of the media areas, along with short video, that's growing like crazy. So I think this is, I was on the fence, optional important, new product announcement, great performance, incredibly important area, but, lots of competitors. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's a critical area for a lot of enterprises, and the price is dropping like 40 cents per hour for transcribed audio, and it's 99 languages. It's serious. It's a platform. It's a lot of competition, granted, but it's an advancement. So I was thinking maybe we should put it important, but I agree. There's so much competition, so it's hard to say one is better than the other unless you really look at the benchmarks.
All right, Paul, Lucinda, we're like Humpty Dumpty sitting on the wall here. Where are we going?
I also had it as optional / important, really depending. I do agree the 99 languages is fantastic. I actually this past weekend participated in a hackathon that included 11 labs as one of the sponsors, which means you need to use their products.
Yes.
And on Sunday, they told us, I said, hey, can we get a transcription of the audio that's coming out of this? Because we really need it. And they said, nope, can't have that. And on Friday, there it is. So I do think it's important. When I did a little demo and I uploaded, I had it listen to some a demo that I had done. It just gave it as a text blob, could use some, formatting to make things, so it's good for, it was good for, anyway, for this particular application, the transcript would have been helpful in the application that we built in the hackathon. So I feel like it's an important part of this. It adds a lot to this product line. They're a leader. it's good.
All right, we're going for important, Paul. You going to drag us down to optional, or are we going important here?
Important topic. I think optional for the AI leader. I mean, we know there's innovation here. AI leaders need to be pushing the adoption of this. So optional, Mike, grading.
All right, optional, important. We're going important. All right.
Important. We're going important.
We are. Yes.
Okay.
I feel like I'm in Harry Potter. What's the name of the choosing hat thing when you put it on?
The sorting hat.
Sorting hat. Thank you. Yes. I put on the sorting hat and it comes back important. All right.
Okay.
Next. Mercury.
Yeah, I think it's me.
All right. Yeah. Interesting. Completely different technology underneath this. Commercial scale diffusion large language model. Diffusion models, of course, started in images in particular, and totally different mathematics underneath this thing, more efficient and so forth. What do you think, Luda? You're a down to the metal software programmer here. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually rated it as essential for several reasons. This is coming from inception. This is new. Completely new, different ways of doing the models. They've announced it some time ago. It's based on the work of Stanford professor Stefano Erman, and it's diffusion models where you introduce noise and get the model to actually learn to take this noise out. It was originally done for images mostly, and then this introduction is for everything else, but mostly on coding. So it is 5-10 times faster than regular models, and the benchmarks are really also very good. So I feel that, and the last point is very important. It's a substitution, or so they claim, of the other models in your applications. It's really drop-in. That's hard to believe, but that's what they say. But they've convinced a number of Fortune 100 to do that with their models. So that's why I rated it as essential.
Yeah, interesting. From the company mission statement, they say the company's mission is to democratize advanced AI by overcoming the high computational barriers typically associated with large-scale models. So right on what you're saying here, Lucinda. Luda, it's central in terms of their mission. They seem to be delivering on it. What do you think, Lucinda? You're out there pounding the keyboards, making value.
Yeah, right. So agree with all the points that Luda brought out, but I actually did say still important, just because an AI leader has to look at so many different things. And if you're really going to, Luda, I share your skepticism that you can just drop in this model for another model. It's going to have just kind of different ways of doing things, which may be good. We don't even know what the benefits are that this model can bring yet. So I think it's important that they need to know about it. Should they go, swapping their models right now and doing this? Only really if they got the need for speed and things have to be really fast. But and then obviously with all the normal testing and piloting that you do. But I don't know. It's and I agree. It's fundamentally different. It seems to be a lot faster. Still remains to be seen. Is this a really good substitution for the transformer-based large language models?
All right.
But see what this shows, right? A diffusion is far faster in coding, right? So where the speed is pretty important. So
yes.
I think with this one, they are going after the coding segment, and then everything else is in testing. So, but for coding segment, I think they certainly should be considered.
All righty, Paul, where are we?
I'll support the team here. I'm in the optional camp, but Luda's makes a good case.
Optional. No, we're not demoting this to optional. We're going to have to go at least important.
At least important, yeah.
At least important. All right, we're going important. Next.
Okay. All right, hold on. I need to switch the screens. I'm sorry. We need
fascinating, though. I mean, when you look at this, we talked a lot about algorithmic innovation. That's coming true as well. That's really where I think a lot of the action is. A lot of people are thinking about that. Again, I was talking to a senior researcher last night at this party, and he's starting to look into biological analogies in terms of how the brain really does process information. And he used to be an academic. Now he's at Microsoft, and his intuition says that we're going to find, biomorphic kind of algorithms that are going to be way more efficient. And I think the diffusion model is probably closer to that. All right. We're still on 11 Labs here, Luda.
No, it should be this. Okay. Introducing Alexa now.
I can talk about it while you find it.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So Alexa, Amazon has introduced a new Alexa. So rather than being powered by natural language processing, it's now powered by generative AI and large language models. I view this as important. The cost price is $19.99 per month, but it's free with Prime members. So that's a really compelling reason to get Prime.
Yeah.
It is a consumer-facing offering. It seems way more capable than the original Alexa. It can write your schedule, identify conflicts. It can get travel information, make an itinerary. It can book tickets. And like Rufus, it's worth looking at this just for the user experience, so that companies that are building, applications that interact with humans, either in a consumer sense or in a business setting. This was a very smooth video. And then the two possible applications for business might be scheduling meetings and management and using for customer service. Normally, you would have the Alexa skills pack in the AWS, but it's not announced yet. So even if you wanted to build it, it's not clear that they are going to do that or when they're going to do that. So
all right, so you're going to put it as important?
Yep.
All right, let me make the case for essential. Here we've got the company that by far, I can't speak to the Chinese market, but in the Western market has the most smart devices in the home, other than your mobile phone, right? And the 600 million devices out there, they're already doing voice interface. I'm a big Alexa user. This thing was so good, it's really giving me the creeps. It was like, when you watch this thing, it's telling you about conflicts on your schedule with your family. And it's like, oh no, you can't, you're going out without Ida at lunch. You can't, go to dinner then. It's just like nuts. Just given, some of the new free speech things coming out from Mr. Bezos, does give one pause. But I was going to say essential. This to me, it's going to set the bar for interaction for any consumer product, I think. And not only consumer product, but as we saw with the mobile phone and before that, some of the computer stuff, this is going to be, combined with agents and so forth inside corporations. People are going to walk in their office and say, hey, look, what's going on with this project? I need research on this. It's going to be, I think, inspired by Alexa Plus. So I'm making the case for essential here.
I was on the other this side of the spectrum with optional. I think it's a great announcement, but for the AI leader for now, this is like, okay, it might be integrated later on into enterprise applications, but not now. It's really consumer oriented announcement, and it's only, I asked my Alexa of when I'm going to get it on this device. And it says, no, not on this device. You'll have to buy another device and it will be rolled out. So I was optional.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. She's saying, Siri is so far behind, I can't even see it. That's a lot of truth in there, I think. Interesting. Luda, I'm seeing a pattern here. I think you're a back of the house. How do we get it done? What's the math person? And, front of the house, not so much. What do you think here, Paul? Oh, Paul gone?
Paul left, right. So you're on your own with the Alice.
Oh, my goodness. I think I'm going to have to give this essential. I want people to read this thing, look at the video, get inspired. All right, next.
Okay, hold on a second. Next.
Yeah, this is, I continue to be amazed by the speed with which all this stuff is starting to happen, right?
This
Perplexity
is
Voice.
Yeah.
All right. And who do we have on this one?
You.
Awesome. Perplexity Voice. I was going to make this essential. Important. A number of the folks have voice interfaces already. I've been talking to Perplexity this morning. She was helping me understand a few things as I was preparing for this. In terms of this activity, it's really facile, good, works well on the iPhone, not available yet on Android. It's a Me Too product, but an impressive one. So I was going to give it important.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it will be easier to use. A lot of people are learning about Perplexity, and I think this is another step in democratizing its use.
All right.
And I thought I gave it as an optional just because it was kind of a everyday catch-up miracle. But hey, if you guys feel strongly about important, that's cool.
Well, the thing is that last I looked at the stats, I mean, I think Perplexity is really the one that's giving Google a bunch of grief along with ChatGPT, so that's why, I just, that kind of put me over the edge. And it's also very, the short amount of time, I only used it for about 15, 20 minutes this morning. It's really nice. I mean, it works great, it's all right. We're going to get this.
Yeah, I didn't try it out, so.
Yep. Kind of application need for the world develop. Yep, totally agree, Ashish. All right, next. Here we have Microsoft talking about this is what's the old saying? You gotta love the people who don't do work, but they talk about doing work. That's what went through my mind when I was reading this thing. Anyway, Luda, who do we have on this one?
Me. So I rated it as optional. It is a sort of positioning, advertising type of article from Microsoft talking about trying to convince manufacturers to actually use generative AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very, and manufacturers, as you know, it's very difficult to convince. It takes some trying and doing before they actually go in droves. So this just talks about that Microsoft has pulled together a Microsoft Fabric with a number of tools that are specifically for manufacturing. That is their cloud, right? Then they talk about these are the benefits, not really very convincing, but the benefits. And then they talk about a partner of theirs, Viva, that put together an AI assistant and also other set of tools that can be usable on the Microsoft platform, and give an example of MCore using that platform with a specific impact, like production cycle improvement, the overall equipment effectiveness improvement. So good results. Doesn't go into detail of what it was, how they did it. So that's why optional.
All right, I'm with optional as well. Lucinda?
Yep, also optional. They did a lot of hand waving. They didn't give numbers. It was unsatisfying. So
Yes, something a robot could have done better. All right, and we have Fluffy Not Stuffy, and the last one here.
I do not have your score.
Oh, we don't have the thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I would have gone ahead and done that. But let's just talk through it then, because we have
two. According to me, we have two essentials, three importance, and two optionals.
Luda, just to read which are essential and which are important. So essential, OpenAI, right?
OpenAI, the one, I don't have the names actually. Lucinda one.
It was the Mercury with the diffusion models.
Yeah, and then the.
And somebody said actually Alexa. I forget where it came out exactly.
Alexa was essential.
Yeah.
So and then the importance were the diffusion models, yours, John, on the
11 Labs Scribe.
11 Labs, right?
And
the voice Perplexity voice mode. So.
Okay. Any announcements?
No, I think there is a. Do you know what's the lab on Monday on?
I thought Paul was going to be with us in terms of just a sec. See if we can I don't know what we're going to be doing beyond with Adam Rappaport will be doing his AI adventure, and then in terms of I'm going to be doing a 5 minutes on probably on ownership in the digital world, and in terms of our central speaker, I don't know. So sorry about that. Don't know on that. Have a great weekend, everybody. We've got lots of reading for you and fantastic Friday in terms of new capability being launched in the marketplace. Thank you so much, Lucinda, for joining us. Always great to have somebody who's actually doing the work and understands the business. Luda, as always, great to be with you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, John. Happy Friday, everyone.